Probably no one's here yet. But hello, I'm just gonna give it a few seconds before I get super started here. Clear my chat. So I restructured my my layout a bit, so just checking off what we've done so far in the project. We got game world full of blocks. We got some blocks toggling when I step on them. We got some enemies spawning from each of the four corners with each of the four colors. If you hear a crunching noise in the background, that is my dog, Siri. Yes, she's a good girl. She's just chewing on her bone. And we have a dog bed right under my desk, so she's totally welcome here. I apologize if you hate it. So we've got 2 targets today. Hopefully we can finish up our character controller. We started this last time. We have to add some more audio and visual cues. I want to get them working the way I planned. I also moved the chat over here because people are having issues seeing it and stuff, so it's now down here. So let's see how our game's sitting. Hopefully everything was saved from last time properly. So we've got an overhead camera. I can click to move. And I'm trying to dodge these squares that are chasing me. Hitting the tiles. If I hit a whole set of 3, so the red ones, they all just died. And then the magenta ones just died. But there's still a few more spawning out of there. So right now we just have our seeking behavior on. That's all I want for now. My next set of milestones will be to refine their AI a little bit. But essentially you're just going to be moving, and your character won't be a ball either. But eventually you're going to kill all the enemies and there won't be any more tiles left. So when we last left off, we had this issue with my character controller where I would just keep rolling past where I clicked. And I kind of want to stop on a dime. And it's consistently rolling past me right now. Into the middle of nowhere. So, I'm not totally against it for checking off my milestone, because it is a character controller and it is from far above. I do want to position this camera perfectly though, so I want to do this a couple times here until I figure out exactly where my camera should be to see the whole scene, but nothing but nothing else. It looked like it changed. Because I have it in ortho. Yeah, I have it in ortho. So, the position of your camera does not matter when you're in ortho, just so you know. It'll always be that spot. What you have to do, you can change this back to, I'm just going to undo. Okay, so what you have to do is change the stuff here, so the size, and now I can see my camera preview down here. So it looks like 12 might be pretty good. And again, if you have your camera selected. Okay, so 12 is a little too big. I want these outer walls to be flush. And I also want to change the color or what these walls are, so I'm going to do that today as well. So the size would be 11.5. See where we are at. 11. 11 looks perfect. Okay, so we're going to leave that at 11, so it sees exactly what we want to see. Okay, then I'm going to go in and I'm going to make a new block type real quick. So that's in prefabs. I'm going to make it in here though. So I'm going to create empty game object. Actually going to make it a cube. We're going to put one in the scene. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so I want it to be just like my other blocks, so 2, 2, 1. And then my default material, I want to change the material here so that it is just black. No, that's not it. Oh, such fun. And then we're going to change these colors to black. So I want it to be a bit shiny, but I don't want it to be... I don't want it to stand out. I just want it to be a border for my world. Okay, then I'm going to rename this. I'll call it a wall cube. Okay, and actually I'm going to increase its height, because I don't want my ball to roll out of the world eventually. So we're going to drag that in, make it a prefab. We're going to go over here. And, no, it's still in here actually. Nope, I do have to go to the code. I have to go in my floor script here. And I'm also going to make a serialized field of game object as well. And we're going to call it wall tile.
Kitty, I'm typing. You have to go away. Ew.
Sorry about my allergies and sniffing. So this is the what's spawned as my walls. And this is what is spawned on my floor. Okay, so we're going to save that. Come back out here. So my manager object has my floor manager. I'm going to rename that, but we're going to put a wall cube in here. Hi, kitty. That's better. This is Samwise, who you heard meowing and potentially purring. Okay, so we're going to put a wall cube in there, and then we're going to go back to my code and where we build the walls. Instead of instantiating a floor tile, we're just going to instantiate a wall tile. And
Yes, you're getting in the way. I might have to kick you off again.
so we're just going to spawn wall tiles instead of floor tiles. Now we're going to go back in and see how that looks. Pretty good, except for that random wall that I left there, so that's good. Oh, changed my circle too. Huh. That's new. Okay, so my wall cube that's in my level, I'm just going to delete. So this is kind of what I'm looking for. Look-wise. Okay. I'm gonna turn my volume down for you guys so that the beeping doesn't happen all the time. Just gonna turn down Unity as loud as it does. Let's try that again. That's better. That's better. Okay, so one thing I did want to do looked like the cube was a little too big. So I'm going to make this 1.95. And we'll see, make sure that, yeah, so now it kind of looks like a grid. And it also, it also puts a bit of space here so it doesn't quite look like it's cutting off. Okay. So, now we'll go back and continue working on our character controllers. So, our character controller is called Overload Character Controller. Okay, so I have a max speed, that's how fast I can go per second. My current speed is how fast I'm actually going. These are meters per second, I think. I don't know how all of my things got misaligned, but okay. I can probably, yeah, that's fine. Where I clicked to move. Okay, so for initialization, my target is where I started from, and I have no move direction. When I click the mouse, okay, buddy, he's pushing me around, pushing my hand around with his face. When I push the mouse, I'm going to cast a ray out. If I hit, I'm going to check what it is. If it's a tile, then I'm going to say, hey, I did a tile. And I'm going to get my character controller. Why do I get it now? I don't use it. Yeah, I don't use it. I'm just going to comment that out. Okay, was using if grounded, but I'm not jumping yet, so we just commented that out. Oh, okay, Kitty, you have to go. You're triggering my allergies. Say goodbye, mister. Yes, goodbye. Go lay in your windowsill. It's so pretty. Excuse me. Okay. So we just commented out this part to say that we're targeting a tile. The target position is my hit point, So that should be where I'm hitting everything. So I'm going to print that out because I need to know what it's doing. So hit point. Okay, gonna kill this because it already tells me that I hit a tile there. Okay, I'm then going to be tracing my position. So I want to see what my hit point is returning, and then each frame I want to trace out my target point, which should be this, and my position, because that's what I'm doing. I'm taking my target position, subtracting it, and then getting the distance between them. And if the distance between them is greater than my stopping distance, I thought I'd fix that. If it's not 0 and they're less than the stopping distance, oh no, if it's greater than the stopping distance, I'm going to accelerate. If it's not, then yeah. Actually, what I should do is constantly remake my move direction towards here. Gotta copy this here. See if that fixes things. So while I'm accelerating, I'm always going to be remaking my vector to be towards the target position. This is better, but I get this wobbly behavior, and that's because I don't have any fuzzy logic, and it's a little, my stopping distance is a little too far now, but this is much better. You can see I'm not ever overshooting, I'm just sometimes getting this wobbly behavior. So I want to get rid of that wobbly behavior. That wobbly behavior is because I'm not within my stopping distance yet. My stopping distance is 0.53. So when I look at my ball, or my character, they are 1.5 off the ground. And the target point hit, which I should have been looking at, but here, it's still here. So when I click on a point, it'll say target hit. If I hit the point. Okay, so this is what's going on, basically. The magnitude here is wobbling back and forth between 1.314, 1.317, and 1.08. So it's getting closer, but not close enough to be less than my stopping distance of 0.53, because the ball itself is not quite at the point that we're looking for. So hit point is negative 5.9, 1.5, 1.6. So it's always returning 1.5 on the Y, or that one was anyway. Let's see if that's happening for other hits. I'm going to go to the beginning. Deceleration. Okay, yeah, 1.5 on the Y. 1.5 on the y. So it's always returning 1.5 on the y, which should make it even better for what I'm trying to do. Negative 4.5 on the z. Okay, I'm going to do a quick test run where I'm going to click on specific tiles so I know what position it's actually returning for that tile. So I want to do this one. Okay, and we'll check what it said. So negative 7.9 and 0, which is pretty much exactly what I want to return. Because if I look at this, right here is negative 8 in terms of world space. So these tiles are 2 by 2, and there's an 8 by 8 grid of them. So this is going to be like negative 8, negative 6, negative 4, negative 2, 0. That's the center of each tile, is going to be those. So now what I want to try is, if I click up here, near the corner, what it's returning. Let's screw that up. Okay. So now I'm going to click up here. Okay, and we're going to pause. And it did negative 8.8, 0.8, and 1.5. So this is all perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to trace my character's transform so I know what's going on, why the magnitude isn't getting right. Okay, so I'm not going to print deceleration because it's just spamming right now. And there was another one that was spamming. That's dead. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to print my target position. Call it target point equals target position. And I'm going to print my current position, which is transform that position. Well, there's another thing that might be going on. I'm using game object, transform here, and transform here. Let's see. Maybe that will fix everything. But either way. Now, it's all consistent. Game object transform position, and see what's going on. I'm tracing the magnitude. That's what I was tracing. Right here. Just gonna kill that so I don't spam. Okay. Actually, I think I do want the magnitude traced, but I'm going to put it in the same line. So undo. And I'm going to put this on one line too. Okay, so it's going to give me my target point, my position, and my magnitude between them in one line, and it's going to do that every time an update is called, so that I know what's going on with the positions and magnitudes. So I'm going to click to what I know and pause. Okay, so oh, I didn't delete the mag part. I'm going to get rid of that spam. Now we'll try that again. I'm going to click over here. Pause. Okay, we're going to go back to the top. So, until these zeros are gone, I don't care. Because my target point is 0. My starting position is 0.7, 1.5. Okay. Why is it 0.7? 1.5 I know, but why is it 0.7? That might be what's going on, is this, my character doesn't start at 0, 0. Well, that's part of what's going on. Can't be the only reason. Okay, so I've hit a tile. I'm going to negative 8.6.5. So my current position is 0.7, 1.5, magnitude 9.3. Negative 0.8, negative 0.8. These are coming out different, which is the float error. Negative 9. Negative 1. Okay, so my Z, or my Y looks like it changed. That's not good, because it should stay constant. It's staying constant at 1.6. That'll change my calculations a little bit. So this spiked. Why did it go to 0.4? And this spiked again. Looks like it's spiking every few frames, like it's going down steadily, and then once per frame it's jumping back. I've never seen that behavior before. Okay, so we keep traveling until our magnitude gets less than 0.5. Okay. Oh, that's what I have to do as well, is when my, oh, I do that. When I get to my position, I want my target to be vector 3.0. But it looks like when I get to my position, oh, it does here, right here. So this, my target point gets set to 0 a couple frames late, a couple updates late. Like, this is the update. Oh, no. Sorry, don't do that. This is the spike. So this is what's a weird behavior. And it's going to spike back to, or it's going to come back next frame to be less than 0.5. And the instant it does that, it's going to be target point is 0, 0, 0. Here's my position, and my move direction also got set to my target position is 0 and my speed gets set to 0. So I won't move anymore. Okay. And then when if my target position is not 0, that's when I want to move, right? So because it is 0, this part doesn't trigger and I don't keep accelerating. So that's working okay. What's really confusing to me are these spikes in velocity, or like position. My X position just suddenly changes, looks like every 5 or 6 frames. So 1 frame, 2, 6. Spike. Yeah. Every 6th time I'm going through my update loop, my X jumps up. So let's watch the behavior in action and see if we can see that happening. Yeah, it looks like he's slowing down at spots. Okay. See now, this is kind of what I want to happen. So I'm looping, I'm trying to get around them and get back to my position, that's fine. Okay, so 2 confusing things. Why does my Y go up 0.1 when I start moving? And why does my magnitude spike every 6th frame? Or magnitude change every 6th frame? So maybe I should make this fixed update. Maybe it's a memory thing. It is physics, so that may be what's going on. I'll try it. See if I break it. Okay, so my X gets set to 0.72. Stop doing what you're doing. Okay, not gonna do it. So it's not a fixed update issue. So I start at 0, 1.5, and as soon as I hit play, it's going to jump to 0.7. Not. Yeah. It says 0.7 here. The very first time I go through my update loop, it's 0.7. But when I look up here, it isn't 0.7. Why am I rotating constantly? Do I have a look at? Maybe if I don't use gravity and I increase the angular drag to 1 so I don't spin. Still rotating like crazy. I have a sneaking suspicion that that is the cause of my issue. The fact that something's going on. Oh, there we go. I can freeze rotation. Stopping just shy. My mouse click now. Yeah, I just froze the rotation. Let's see that one more time. So it's still doing this 0.7 thing. My X is immediately jumping to 0.7 and then it jumps back to its actual position of 0 every 6th frame. So I have no idea what is going on. Every 6th update loop, my object randomly becomes where it's supposed to be, but it is offset for 5 frames all the time while doing that. That's so weird. Okay. Well, it's not totally undesired behavior. Well, it is. It is totally undesired. But for the purposes of my assignment, getting this to this point, I think is what he's looking for anyway. So I might just need to ask some questions of my professor or the interwebs and not waste everyone else's watching time to find out what's going on. Like if I sit still, you can see it's hopping from 1 to 2.4 randomly. I'm not even moving. My move speed is 0 and I should have no move direction. So confusing. Well, I'll figure that out later. I'm gonna say my character controller's mostly done. Again, not what I want, but I would rather say yes, it's done, and then move on to the audio and visual cues over here. So let's do that. Okay, so what I want for the audio and visual cues, oops, don't press start from there. Yes, I know you can't run it in Visual Studio, thank you. Okay. So what I want for my audio visual cues is when I first click or first touch a thing, I want it to be one tone, and then I want it to like get louder or a different pitch, so it goes like doot doot doot, and then once it's figured out that it's the final one, it'll have a slight delay while it plays like fireworks sound or something. So and then it will kill the enemies that I'm targeting. So it'll go doot doot doot. And so when each time you have different enemies that you're killing with your different blocks, you're going to get it's going to sound kind of musical as you're touching all these tiles. That's what I'm hoping for. Then the other thing, so the visual cues I don't want these cubes to just, I want these cubes to start dying when I hit all my tiles, but I don't want them to just disappear instantly. I want them to create like a particle effect where they are, that shoots out like little baby cubes, and then it looks like they're exploding. So I don't know how much of those I'm going to get done. The visual cues, I think that might be Thursday, but I'm going to work on getting my sound exactly where I want it to be. So first off, we have to hit the interweb because I don't have my sounds for the fireworks one. So I'm going to go to the interweb and search for fireworks sound effect. Where's the one I usually like? Free sound effects. Free sound. Firework. Now, when I'm looking for this sound, I want it to kind of feel computerized like the other one, so let's see what happens. And it's too real. I also don't want it to be long, so I have to look. This one looks pretty good. Why is it so laggy? It says it's 4 seconds. Okay, there we go. No, not quite. That could work. If there weren't so much background noise, I'd like that one. Because that's kind of the delay I'm looking for. So like when you hit all three, it'll make the sound, and then they all blow up into little pieces. I kind of like that one. I just gotta edit it a bit. So we'll start with that one. Where do I download these things? There it is. Log in to download. Hide my username and password from my friends. And I'm going to call it firework. This is my other kitty, Flint. She likes to sit on my lap too, but she doesn't get in my way as much. Okay, so we downloaded that and I put it in my Unity folder. Okay, so let's go back to my project here, and it should be, yeah, so here it is. I can press play. So, because of the background noise, I don't like it, but what I can do is play it, mute it during this, and then unmute for the explosion. So, I should be able to play that, and then it'll jump to here when they die. Okay, so, who's going to be making this sound? Probably the spawners themselves, because I don't know which blocks will actually be alive, so the spawner will have to be the one that is making the sound. I could also put it on the player, but I think you get weird issues with it has the audio listener. I think sometimes you get weird issues if there's a audio source on the audio listener. So we're going to put it on the spawner. So if I go into my enemy spawner, I can add a component, audio source, and it's going to be an audio clip of firework. Okay, play on awake, nope. Loop, nope. So, okay, that's good. I don't have an audio mixer group, so that's fine. Okay, so what I want to do now is when I've hit it, there's going to be a short delay before all the things happen. So I need to quickly look up how to set up the delay. I think I remember you call like a function with a specific thing. Where did my Google go? Closed it. Recently closed. Start from there. So that's my Google Drive. Just ignore that. Okay. So Unity delayed function. Invoke. There it is, yield. Okay, so yield. Okay, so what I have to do, so I'm going to start a coroutine example. Okay, this is the coroutine that I'm starting. It has to return an IEnumerator. You can print time and then wait for seconds, print time. So it'll print, wait 5 seconds, and then print. Okay, so what I need to do for this, whenever I'm killing my enemies, I need to start a coroutine that's going to do some stuff, wait for 5, and then do some other stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on my other monitor where you can't see it, but I can reference it. So if it magically, I have code show up, that's what's going on. That's it. Go away. Okay, So we have. Oh, you can't. I can't see. You can't see it, but I can. I'm actually going to take a quick break, and we'll get back to this in a second. In the meantime, you can totally listen to my kitty purr, or the hum of my computer, whichever you like. I have returned. My apologies. Nature has some kind of call on me occasionally. I believe most people. Okay, so let's see. We got. It's not in the character controller. It's going to be my spawner manager who's going to have to play the sound. And he's going to do it when he kills the spawns of color. Okay. So whenever I call kill active enemies, I'm going to have to start my coroutine. Actually, I think he can... Yeah, he will have to start a coroutine. So he's going to start coroutine, and we're going to call it death sound. Make death sounds. Okay, and it's going to be like that. Okay, so now I need to make that. So it is an enumerator. So instead of void, it returns this thing that helps it do stuff. And it's going to be called make death sounds. Okay. And it needs to return, so we're going to, just so I can see that it's working, I'm going to print death sounds started. And then I'm going to yield, return, new, wait for seconds, 3, so I don't want to wait 5, print, death sound end. Okay, so whenever I call kill active enemies, I'm going to make death sounds. Just call this. So, actually, I think this is going to go in the make death sounds. In the manager, or the spawner. So I'm going to go kill active enemies. So yeah, I'm going to do that here. Because my spawner manager doesn't care, but the individual spawners know that somebody's died. Okay, and you go there. So after I've killed all the active enemies, I make the death sounds. Okay, I think actually this is going to eventually go into here because I don't want them to die right away, but I just want to test that this is working first. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to play and I'm going to kill a group of enemies. Actually, I'm going to comment out my spam here so I don't have to wade through a ton of stuff. Save. So if I'd hit 3 of the same color, okay, I'm going to wait 3 seconds and pause. So death sound started. I hit some stuff in between. Death sound ended. Okay, perfect. So this is what I want. This is the behavior I want in my script. Okay, so now I'm going to go and fix it all up to do what I want it to do. So I don't actually want to immediately kill all the enemies. I want to do that after my sound has finished. So I'm going to take this and put it after my wait. Okay. I'm going to okay, I'm going to play my audio component. So I do that right now already in enemies, so I have a copy pastable thing. I think I did. Oh no, I'm doing it when I enter a tile, so it's in tile. Okay, it is trigger enter, get component, audio source, stop. So, back in my spawner. Okay. Then I want to, I wonder, can I have multiple yields? That would be interesting. Sorry, I'm just looking something up. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. Well, let's try it anyway. So, because I'm going to have to sync up. So if I play, I need to play for a short time and then mute after that short time, which I believe is not very long. So I need to play it, and then I want to mute it because I don't want this background noise. And then I need to, yeah, unmute it right before I play it and then kill the enemies. Okay, so I'm going to try this. Return new, wait for seconds, float seconds, so I'm going to wait for 0.5 seconds. And then I'm going to print mini weight. It's like a new cereal. Frosted mini weights. Okay, so I'm just going to see if this behaves the way I'm expecting it to. So that means I have to hit 3 colors. Death sound started. Mini weight. Death sound ended. Looks like I can do it. Yay. Okay. So that's what I want to do. I want to, after the mini weight, I want to audio source dot mute. Equals true. Guessing it's a bool. Yep. And then after the other weight, I want to unmute it. So mute equals false. Because I'm getting a component 3 times, I should just get it once. So audio source firework, call it firework, equals get component audio source firework.play firework.mute. Okay, so I'm going to have to play with these seconds to get it perfect, but let's see how this goes. So I muted it a bit early, and almost perfect on the unmute. Okay. I can probably see this on my sound itself. So if I go to my project, sound, firework. Sorry, don't play. Go to here. Don't play. Looks like 0.7. 3.1. 0.7, 3.1. Okay. So if I make this 0.7, and then the total of these is 3.1. So 3.1 minus 0.7 would be embarrassing. 2.4. Should know that. Okay, so this is my test to see how that looks. Let's look yellow. Hit really quick. Test it again. Okay, now what I want to do is hit a bunch at once to make sure they can overlap a bit. So I'm going to hit all of these three. Okay, that looks good. So it's not exactly what I want, but this is kind of what I was picturing it as. Like, I don't have a sound artist to make the sound exactly what I want it to be. So they delay a bit before they die. I don't see any more cubes coming up. Something happened. Yeah. It won't let me hit that tile. It won't let me hit any tiles now. Okay, so I broke again, but that's still actually because I'm bumping into enemies, and you're not allowed to bump into enemies. Okay, so I did break it a bit. Okay. I'm gonna put this at the end here. Okay, so that's all good. Okay, the next thing, I think that's okay for now. The next thing I want to do is, I'm going to go into here, and I want to play with this ding a bit. But I want to play with its pitch. So if I go into the object that it's on, I think it's on tile. Prefabs. My glow cubes are my tiles. So if I hit can I play it from here? I thought I could. Yeah, that pitch is too low. Let's go there. Ooh. That's a little too low. Okay. Am I thinking of the right thing? Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. So 1, I think is where it was, right? Oh, it sounds weird because we're playing a billion at once, because each tile plays it on awake. Okay. So that initial one so let's try 0.8. And I'm going to take off. I did take off the play on a week. Okay, 0.8. Sounds good. 1 was my normal one. So it'll be dum, dum. And dum, 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 dum. Okay, so I think that we'll try that to start and see how that goes. So basically, when I'm going to set the pitch to 1 as default. So that's my default pitch on all glow cubes. Now, right before I play it, I want to have, so this is in my tiles, because it's what plays it. I want to have my current pitch. And it's a float, I think. Okay. So the pitch is going to be 1 by default, and then go up to, or 0.8, then go to point thing. So actually my, okay, so when I enter it, I'm going to play it, but I don't want to play it right away, so I do want to play it right away. I just want to set my pitch first. Set pitch. And the pitch is going to be given to it by its, by the floor script, because it knows how many have been hit in the set, or I can figure it out. Okay, so I have to change some functionality here. What I want to do is I want to count how many of my set have been touched instead of doing it this way. So this is checking if all have been touched, and if they all have been touched, then it will call all this, trigger all the stuff. So it'll kill spawns of color, it'll do all the things. But each time I hit it, I want to go through and set the pitch of all the tiles for that type. Okay, so my T color set. So I'm going to have the array of ones that I want to change the pitch to. That's this. So I'm going to call change pitch, which will be a public method I make in TileScript on each of these once I'm done. Okay, so okay. So this method's getting really big. I feel like I want to break it up, but we'll do that later. Okay, so for it, since I'm doing pitches, I'm going to say P 0, P less than T tiles of color set, dot size, dot length. P plus plus. Why do you do this? Okay, and then I'm going to call set pitch on each of them. So T tiles color set. I'm going to call. I'm only going to set the pitch when I'm deactivating it, so I'm actually just going to call it in there. No, I want to change the pitch every time I hit one. So, T color index. Get component. TileScript. Dot. Change pitch. And I'm going to be giving it a float value of what I want to change the pitch to. But that's basically how I'm going to activate the pitch change. So if I go back to TileScript, I can make a change pitch method, public, change pitch, and it's going to take a float pitch, which we call underscore. Excuse me. Oh, returns void. Okay, so this is going to change my current pitch. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my current pitch and set it equal to the pitch that was given. Current pitch equals pitch. Okay. So then I'm going to set the pitch of my audio source. So I'm going to get component audio source dot pitch and then no P. So pitch is a float, good, and that's going to equal my current pitch. Okay, so right before I play it, I'm going to set its pitch to be whatever it was set to, and then I'm going to play it. Okay, so current pitch, so this, I think that's going to be okay. Okay, so I need the pitch value. And I'm going to make that a so this is a floor script. So it's going to be local. So I'm going to set my pitch. If okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm looping through all of my tiles. I'm checking for whether they're touched or not. Okay, if they are touched, that becomes true. So that will trigger the kill method on all of my enemies. But I'm also saving which ones were touched. So if they have the same color in an array. Okay. I want that array. So if the color is a color. So when I go through this array, now I want to count how many have been active. Okay, so I'm going to need a int number of activated or touched, sorry, I call it touched. So number touched equals 0. Okay, so I'm going to increment in here. So if floor script at ij is touched, I'm going to increment my number touched. Okay, so if all, so my pitch is going to be float pitch. So it's going to be 0.8, which is my lowest value, plus how many I've touched times 0.2. Number touched. Okay, and I should all eventually turn these into constants up top, but I just want to see that that's working. So when I go through, I'm going to count how many I've touched and figure out what that means in terms of pitch, and then I'm going to call change pitch. That will go in here and change the pitch. That'll go in here, change my current pitch. Then I'm going to, when I come back from there, then if they've all been touched, I'm going to call kill spawns of color, which is in the spawner manager, and kill spawns of color is going to call kill active enemies, and kill active enemies is going to go to the spawner, where it starts my coroutine and does that. So the only thing I'm worried about right now is that my pitch is changed by this, which, who calls you? Check done and deactivate. Okay. So this calls check done and deactivate, which will change the pitch before. Okay, so this should be okay. So now let's go and try this out. Okay, it's not working at all. Okay, probably because I have a null reference error. Nope. That'll always do it. Check done and deactivate colors. Out of range. Line 246. Line 246. Okay, so when it's calling check done and deactivate, line 246 is not working. 246. So that's right here. So it's saying array index is out of range. Oh, tcolors index isn't where I want to go. I want to go at P. I want to change the pitch of all of their things. So P is, okay, that should work. Haha, perfect. Out of my way, blocks. Isn't that musically delicious? Yay! That was fun. Starting to feel like the game I was envisioning. Okay, so we've got some audio cues. Now I'm going to quickly make a particle system, if I can remember how. Okay, so I want a new particle system. Okay, so I'm going to make a new empty game object. We're going to call this Death Explosion. And to it, I'm going to add a particle system. Okay. So I want to a lot of stuff in here that I can, it's vague, so shape. The shape is fine. I want to rotate it though. To be upwards towards my camera. Oh, do I just rotate the particle system? Probably. Oh, that's about Y. Okay, so I want it to be about X probably. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if I take this particle system, gonna have the start color be black, because that's what the inner part of the enemy cubes is. And then their finish color over lifetime, color by speed, color over lifetime, there we go. So I'm gonna make check that off so I can edit it, and then I'm gonna make it a gradient between, so I can change these, but basically I want this color to be white. And black. Okay, so it's going from black to white. Oh, that was the alpha. No. That's what I want. I think that's what I want. But it's not appearing to work. Well, we're learning particle systems later, so this is just going to be what we're going for. So it's going to be a 2-second thing. I'm going to have start delay is 0, start lifetime is going to be 3, and my start speed is going to be 20. I want not 20, it's too high. 15. Okay, start size 0.5. I want to make it smaller. Rotation. Okay, so velocity over lifetime. It's a little too high. So I'm going to go this angle is going to be a little smaller, 10. Radius 0.5. So I'm just trying to play with this until it looks like what I want it to. Shape. Sphere. Hemisphere. box. Box. So I'm going to make it bigger. 5, 5, 5. No, that's not what I want. Circle. Edge. Mesh. So my mesh would be my box. Ooh, shoots out of the mesh. Cool. Okay, so I did kind of want the cone. I want it to be one space. I think that should be okay for now. I'm just gonna basically spawn a death explosion, which I'm gonna make a prefab. Right as I kill the guy. Okay, so when So the actual thing that kills them is my kill function in my enemy script. So this destroys the game object. So right before I do that, I want to instantiate a game object. And the game object instantiate. And it's going to be a death effect. So I'm going to make a serialized field up here called, oh, it's a game object type death effect. This is my particle system on death. Okay, and it's going to be death effect. Private as well. So I'm going to instantiate a death effect at the position of me. So game object dot transform dot position, and my rotation is going to be quaternion dot 0. Identity, sorry. I don't care about my rotation. Hopefully, I don't care about my rotation. It might spin it the other way. So we're going to instantiate this, and then we're going to make a quick little script that'll kill it after 3 seconds, so it doesn't cause a memory leak every time I kill one. So if I go into my we're going to make a script, new script, C#, and we're going to call it explosion killer, explosion script. And just in case I make more explosions, I'll make sure it's enemy explosion kit script. Create and add. And then you click on it and you can find it. Just click on it once, you'll find it. Put it in your scripts folder. And then you can open it. Yeah. Reload all. Okay, so on start, we're going to create a yield. We're going to start coroutine. And this is going to be deaths. Okay. And then we have an IEnumerator. I guess I should make this bigger. IEnumerator of call to deaths. And it is going to yield return, wait for seconds, 3, because I think that's how we'll set it for. And then after it does that, it's going to delete this game object. So game object. What was the enemy did it? Destroy. 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 Okay. Wait for seconds. I missed something in here. Where did I yield before? It was... yeah. Yield return new. Yield return new. New. Wait for seconds. Yeah, because it needs a wait for seconds object. I didn't have one, so okay. So after this has been created for 3 seconds, it's going to kill itself. So this is just so I don't have tons of particle systems that are just sitting in the scene, doing nothing, wasting memory. Okay, so this should now be hooked up because I just added it to my enemy script on death. I'm going to create this and then I'm going to destroy it. Okay, so let's try this out. So I should get little black dots like that wherever an enemy dies for about 3 seconds. That'll be after they explode, which didn't happen. Why aren't they dying? Nobody's dying anymore. Not good. Oh. That would be why. Okay. Unassigned reference exception. Death effect has not been assigned. So it can't create... So whenever you get a null object exception in Unity, it will not do anything that you're supposed to do after it. So my enemy script was trying to create a death effect and it was null because I never gave it anything. So what I have to do is just go back over here and go to my project and my prefabs. And if I click on, who was doing it? My enemy. So my cube. My cube's script, no, wasn't. Yeah, it should be there. Tile script. No, it's not my cube, it's my enemy. Haha. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so my death effect for my character, I need to give it a game object to instantiate. So I have to give it my death explosion. Now it should work. Okay, so I should see this type of thing whenever I kill an enemy. Which I still want the colors to be better. Those should kill each other. Kill themselves after 3 seconds. But it does not appear that they are doing so. So we're going to have to check what is going on there. Weird. Weird. State shading, death effect. I've got an enemy explosion script on it. Do I not? Okay. Apparently, when you create an ad, it doesn't actually create an ad. Oh, because it was added in the scene, but not to the default one. Okay. So that's why the first one killed itself, because it had the script on it. Now I hit apply, so it put the script on it as well. So now that now this should work. So this one was going to die in 3 seconds. Okay, let's kill some dudes. Okay, so I figured out one of the little bugs that was happening. It is... the spawning is now screwing up because I'm delaying my death. So... I have to go in and fix that. So my spawn script... Kill active enemies. So who's calling anyone to spawn? Someone over here. That's spawn manager. So who's calling this? Floor script, right? So if I go back to it, final references. So my floor script. Okay, so when I call kill spawns of color, go into that. Kill active enemies is the one that's eventually yielding, but I might have to do a lot of refactoring and recoding here. So I'll probably call it a day very shortly because I'm done in 15 minutes anyway. But my spawner manager is calling kill spawns of color. My floor is saying, hey, spawner manager, kill all the spawns of this color. And my spawner manager goes through all its spawners and says, hey, are you this color? Okay, if you're that color, kill all your dudes. Okay? But when it's doing that, it's calling kill active enemies on the spawner script, which is waiting a couple seconds to kill them. So what I might have to, because it's playing the sound, it waits 3.1 seconds before it kills them. So during those 3.1 seconds, that's when I end up calling, see if there's any more to spawn. And that makes a new tile set if there is. So what I have to do here is take this out and make it also wait. So I have to start a coroutine here. Start coroutine. And it's going to be check respawns. Okay. And I think this should fix it. Hello, Philippe 8. How's it going? Or if you're French, Philippe. Female Philip. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so I'm taking this code out and I'm going to extract as a method. Can't do that here? Oh yeah, there we go. Extract method. And I'm going to call it check respawn. Respawn. Okay. I do need to give it the color. And I need to make this not a color, a I enumerator. I enumerator. I don't need this then. Choo-choo. And I don't need this line because this is doing that. And why am I returning color? What did I do? Go back. Why did it extract method and return the color? I don't understand. Okay, well, refactor. Extract method. Check respawn. So the when you extract method, sometimes it's a little sneaky. So I enumerator. I don't need that. I do need to yield return new wait for seconds, and I need to match the time of my sounds being down. So 3.5 second, 3.1. It's going to wait before it checks to activate a new tile set. So it's going to wait for them to die and then check. Okay, so I don't need to do... I need to give it color because it needs to know what color to check in the respawn. But this color equals... that was the extract method, so it's saying set color to that. I've heard from a number of people that I've just got too high a resolution and they can't watch me. So I'm probably going to have to fix that eventually. And since you can't see that reply, I'm going to reply in text. So I extracted that out, and so now it's only going to check respawning when after I've waited for my sounds to play. That's what I'm hoping it's going to do. So let's see if I get that behavior. So I'm going to try to kill the whole bunch real quick. So now the teal one, yes, see it respawned after the deaths. So perfect. This is exactly how the game's supposed to go. Yeah, it does have an awkward. Let me check my settings now. Okay, so let me do that. Okay, I just changed the settings. So that fixes. I'm just a bit worried about like small text like this showing up. And like when you're changing little things in Unity here, like you can't read it at certain resolutions, so I'm trying to keep it high. But okay, so sadly you've arrived at the end of my show, Philippe. But we are now done both of my checkpoints. So we have a character controller. It's not third person, but I've adapted it for what I want the game to look like. It's click to move. To dodge, we have our enemy AI is chasing us. It doesn't kill us yet, but we'll get there. Then we worked on, so we finished the character controller up as much as I wanted to finish it. And then we have our audio and visual cues that we just added. So that firework sound that happens when I kill the enemies, and then the explosion when they actually die. So now the teal or the pink ones in here are going to die, create some explosions. So these are all kind of temporary placeholders too. The enemies won't be blocks, I won't be a circle, but that is where we're at for the game. You can kind of see it coming together step by step. Kill those guys. And we still have 2 more yellows. Let's dodge them and kill them. So this would be the end of the level. And it would restart anew with some different spawners and maybe some obstacles that we'll eventually put in. But that's where we're at. So that is Project Overload as we are sitting. I have to go in 5 minutes, so I might as well end it now while I'm done all of my milestones. So Thursday I'm going to stream again, and we're going to try to refine this character controller with some research. And then there's another thing I wanted to do on Thursday. So right now all of my tiles are glowing. I only want the colored tiles to glow. So I've got to figure out how to turn the glow off temporarily and then make them only glow when they are lit up. So I just want these colored ones to be glowing and the other ones to just be regular. I am an idea man, Philippe, so these are what I come up with. Arcade games that are Q*bert meets Pac-Man. Step on tiles, and then when you activate the tile, it's like you got a power pellet that kills all the ghosts of that color. So I'm using, for the tiles, I'm using a script called MK Glow, which is a demo script. So it's got its own stuff that is set up by the Glow script, which is put on your camera. I know there's a way to turn the glow off. Like there's a glow intensity setting. I just have to figure it out. There's a demo for it that I downloaded here. So there's some scripts in here that I just have to go through a little deeper, and then I can figure that out. So, but yeah, it's just a simple thing. How do I apply the other tiles? So when I press play here, I can change the glow of different objects just by passing in this part. Yeah, I can definitely get that script name. I just have to figure out what the variable's called and all that stuff. So when I'm changing the colors, right now I just go in here and I'm just changing the color of the MK Glow color field on the material. So the glow script has set up the material with the glowing, and so I'm just using these MK Glow texture. So that's when I am changing. Yeah, like right now they all glow by default. So I just have to go through this. I'm going to do it on Thursday because I have to go now. But that is, I just have to go through this code, which it's maybe this one. There's this script that's a demo script and does everything that happens to the glow objects in its demo, and there is one of the settings that does the glow. So disable glow on start of the default tiles. And add glow when I add the new tiles. Well, yeah, that's basically what I'm going to do. But I just have to figure out how to do that in code, which is somewhere in here. But I'll be doing that on Thursday because my time is up. I have to get ready for school. So thank you, Switchboard and Philip, for watching, and anyone else who's still out there and just not chatting with me. Appreciate you for watching. I'll throw this up on YouTube so you can watch anything you missed, and my YouTube link is below the channel. And yeah, so I will catch you all later.